guys to give me at least one, or try to convince me why this. It's why I should be excited about this. And I'll let you guys go. I'll hang up and listen.
Andy, thanks so much for the phone call. I know we're going to go over a couple of minutes here, but I definitely want to get back to the phone lines. Got a great guest coming up next segment from USA Today.
Yes.
So let's get this phone call. Edwin in Elliott City, you're on Sportscall.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Glad to have you on, Edwin.
Thanks. Well, I'll tell you what, one thing from that prior caller, I'll tell you one good reason is revenge. I mean, last 2 times we faced them boys that beat us, so I'm looking forward to playing them. I'll be honest with you. And but we scheduled 2 games with them. I hope to even it up. So that's my reason. I'm looking forward to it actually. But listen, your question of the day: do we need to rush for 6 yards? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think we do. I think that's our bread and butter. I think we need to stick with it. And I think we need to do it to make sure that the defenses keep doing what you mentioned earlier, putting 8 and 9 in the box, because that's where our mismatches are going to come on the end. So I think we can do it. I think we got the talent. I think we got the line, and I think we got the scheme to be able to do it. So, I'm hoping for some numbers like that in our running game. What do y'all think?
We're going to talk a lot more about it on the other side, Edwin. We really appreciate your phone call, buddy, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the Clemson game following this next segment where we'll have George Schroeder on from USA Today, and he'll be talking about a number of things, but we'll take your phone calls, 888-9-TIGER-9 on the following segment.
I'll echo what Andy said, though, Randy. Just not very enthusiastic, and we'll make our comments about that game. I mean, we'd won like 10 in a row against them until they beat us the last 2 times, and just so many more teams out there that I think you could go out and get. But nevertheless, we'll talk about that later. We are up against a break. Again, stay tuned. We've got a great guest coming up next, George Schroeder from the USA Today, and they're going to talk about the Amway Coaches Poll that just came out. We'll discuss that and much more. Stay tuned. More Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care right after this.
Ever wondered what LNG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LNG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pass, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com, and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports. Justin told me to get a correct pronunciation of his last name, and it is Schroeder. Randy Lee and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive at Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Cheap, cheap, little cheaper day. It's the summer sale you've been waiting
Sports
for.
Ride for
The
USA
summer
Today.
clearance event at Carl Gregory Chrysler
I saw
Dodge Jeep
the,
Ram in Columbus. New Ram truck, Charger, Dart, Journey, 200, Grand Caravan, Wranglers, Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, and many more have been drastically discounted for this annual event. Get new 2014 Ram 1500 starting at just $21,488, or a new 2014 Dodge Avenger for only $14,990. Even get a new 2014 Jeep Wrangler for just $24,995. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus even has the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200 in stock. 0% financing available. 0 payments for 90 days. Want more? Bring us your trade, and Carl Gregory will try to pay you top dollar for it. You might even be able to get more than you ever thought possible for your trade. Don't miss the annual summer clearance event going on now at your locally owned dealer. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams, 2 giant locations. Victory Drive in the North Lake Auto Complex. Prices after all applicable rebates. All prices exclude tax, tag, title, and limit lot fees. Interest, if any, accrues from date of purchase on approved credit. Not available on internet pricing. Cheap, cheap.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of Sports Call. Sports Call brought to you by Always Money. At this time, we want to go to the phone lines and welcome in a special guest, George Schroeder, National College Football writer for the USA Today. George, thank you so much for being part of the program.
Sure, glad to be on.
Well, George, a lot of teams starting camp today. Some started yesterday and throughout the week. But we are officially here, and I said earlier in the show, it's kind of like a kid at Christmas. You got so many people tweeting different things from different camps. They can't get off of one subject before they go to the next. I said it's like having a bunch of Christmas presents. You get one halfway opened, and you can't stand it anymore, and you got to go over and open another one.
Yeah, I feel that way for sure, and obviously we're still, depending on how you count it, 27 or 28 days away. I'm going to be fortunate enough to be covering a game that Thursday night on the 28th, and looking forward to it. But opening camps is a really cool deal. In fact, the calendar's finally turned to August, you know it's finally here and are about to be here. And Steve Spurrier called it what we've just been through, the talking season. And it's nice. It's nice that we're, at least they're all running the Oklahoma drill now and getting ready for their first game. So that's kind of cool.
George, we're in the first year of the playoff, and, for so long, so many of us wanted this to happen. So we are here, and a committee of individuals that were chosen will decide the teams that get into the 14 playoff. And I've heard so much talk about schedule strength and why do teams want to go out and outside of their conference and get other tough teams. And we talked about it earlier in the show. When that committee finally rewards a team with 2 or 3 losses over a team with 1 loss or no losses because they played a much tougher schedule, then you'll start to see people go, okay, it's cool to go out and get some of these tougher teams. And a lot of conferences are jockeying to where you cannot go out and get out of your division opponents anymore. They're trying to make it to where the fans, when they show up, all of the games are important and big money games. So your thoughts on that, George?
Well, I think a couple things. One, we don't really know what the committee's going to think, but it's very possible that over the next few years we're going to experience kind of a paradigm shift in what makes a successful season. I don't think it's ever going to be like the NFL where you make the playoffs at 8-8 or 9-7 or whatever, and obviously college teams don't play that many games. But I think sort of in the past we have seen the deal is if you go 12-0 or 13-0, as the case may be, you've had a great season. If you go 10-2, which is kind of what you would do, probably wouldn't play in a conference title game at that point, then it's been a good year, but not quite as good. I think we may come to a point where that's not as important anymore, even in our minds, as sort of fans of the game and those who follow college football. That said, it's going to take a while to adjust to that, and I'm not sure the committee's there yet as far as that goes. But schedule strength is going to be a big deal, and we can debate the various strengths of different conferences. Some are more equal than others. But by the way, some of the schedules within a conference are better than others. There are teams that have avoided the best teams in the other division conferences sometimes, not on purpose, just the way it worked out, and that makes it easier to have a better record. But I think the committee is going to end up rewarding people who play, and I don't mean intended to play, but who play a legitimately tough non-conference schedule. Doesn't mean all of them have to be tough. Doesn't mean there won't be some cream puffs, but that I don't think this sort of intent to schedule thing is really going to take hold, because I'll give you one example. Oklahoma's got Tennessee on the schedule this year. That's a great name game, but I don't think any of us think Tennessee is back yet. And the intent there is to schedule a marquee game. And maybe when they make the return trip to Knoxville, Tennessee will be back, and that'll be a big deal for Oklahoma. I'm not convinced that's a giant deal for Oklahoma. On the other hand, they're playing 9 games. They're playing everybody in their own league. I think that's a big deal. So, I mean, we can play this strength of schedule thing one way or the other, depending on who. It's going to be a lot like anything else. Whoever you think ought to be in there, you're going to have the argument that seems to fit.
George, I think it's going to be interesting as we get closer to the end of the season. I know we're just already talking about the end of the season, but when we get down to the end of the season, who is going to be that 5th team? And somebody's going to be left out of that 14 playoff. Now, here in Auburn country, we've talked about 2004 for forever, and that was the one year that kind of got the BCS on the outs, especially here in the SEC, because Auburn ran the table, couldn't jump Southern Cal and Oklahoma, but never had a shot to see if they could have won a national championship. But this is always going to be, no matter what system you have, somebody going to be left out. If you had an 8-team playoff, who's that 9th team? So it's going to be interesting to see who is that team on the outside looking in.
I agree with that. Now, I'm not one of those guys that wants an 8-team playoff. I think it's probably coming at some point. Probably not as soon as some people think it will, but I think it's coming. I'm not one of those that likes it. But I think when you get to 8, I don't think the 9th place team is going to be as big a deal. I really don't. I think 4 and 5 is going to be a bigger argument than 2 and 3 ever was in the BCS. I really do. I think that who's number 4, who's number 5 debate, and sometimes who's number 6 and why aren't they number 4 is going to be a huge, huge deal many years. Now, maybe the committee will be blessed and there'll be kind of a pretty clear, line of demarcation after 4 this year. But a lot of times there's not going to be that, and there's going to be serious pressure on them every year, because you've got 5 power conference champions, and in many years they all have, one loss. If you have one with 2, or there's somebody that's not like the others, that's a different deal. But in many years they all have 1 loss, and maybe a couple of them are undefeated. Which one are you going to leave out? That's going to be a big deal. Every year you're leaving 1 out. Every so often, and not more often than not, but every so often you may leave 2 out and have 2 in from one league or another. I think that's much less likely to happen most years than it is. Then I just don't think we'll see it happen as often as people think they will, because you're already leaving 1 power conference champion out. So it is going to be an unbelievable controversy many years, I think.
I think you're right, George. And the BCS had its issues with some of the rating systems that they use to come up with a formula to choose the top 2 teams. But for the most part, they got it right year in and year out. Now you're adding in more of a human element, more of an objective point of view, and again, probably more controversy year in and year out, because you and I know both that when you're dealing with 4 to 5 teams, there's not going to be that definitive line. 4 and 5 are probably going to be pretty close, like you said, and it's going to be tough, a very tough decision for them to figure out. And is it going to boil down to a situation where the SEC has a potential of getting 2 teams, or any other conference having 2 teams in there, and they go, well, we're just tired of that. We don't want to have 2 teams from the same conference. We're going to bump one of them out to get another team represented from another conference.
Well, I think that very well could happen. And let me just say this. I do think it's much less likely that you're going to find a conference, SEC, Pac-12, that'd be the 2 you'd look at this year, or anybody else getting 2 teams in most years. I think you're going to find 4 power conference champions most years. It would take some conference champions with 2 losses, or that some unexpected team wins the conference's championship. A 3-loss Iowa wins the Big Ten, or something like that, to sort of knock out a second power conference champion. All that, and here's the other thing I would say too is, if you're looking at 4 and 5 and they look the same to you, right? And you're the committee, this is what they're supposed to do. If those two teams look very similar and it's a tough call, and one of them is a conference champion, the other one's not, conference champ is supposed to be the tiebreaker. So that, to me, makes it harder from their own stated criteria for them to go get two teams from one conference. Now, having said that, we'll probably have a goofy year and there'll be two teams from one conference. I know how this works. But as I study how they're supposed to do it, and if things sort of go, to form, winning a conference championship is going to mean something to them. Now, maybe they look at that number 4 and 5 team, one of them's a conference champion, one of them's not, and they go, that's great, that's a conference champion, but I don't see them being as good as that team that didn't win its conference for whatever reason. In that case, then you don't get to that tiebreaker. But if they're like teams, the tiebreaker is supposed to be conference champion.
It's all good, interesting points. And this past year in the Iron Bowl, Alabama had not lost. Auburn beats them. They're sitting there with one loss. Auburn goes on to win goes on to win the SEC championship against Missouri. And that, to me, everybody said, well, if we'd had the 4-team playoff this year, Alabama and Auburn both would have made it in. So you're right. It's going to be dependent on how that team with one loss and it's not a conference champion is sitting there. Were they number 1 in the country and get knocked off toward the end of the season? One more thing, George, before we let you go, the coaches poll was released here in SEC country. Again, staying with Alabama and Auburn, Alabama 2, Auburn 5, but the SEC, 7 teams in the top 20, showing that strength again. In the SEC West alone has LSU, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Auburn, and Alabama all ranked in the top 20. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Now let me just say this: I've got some issues with some teams that are ranked in the poll. We'll start with Texas at number 24, which I think was a helmet pick by the coaches. Just toss them in there, and I actually think Texas A&M is an odd pick.
I do too.
At this point, I think this is a rebuilding year for Kevin Sumlin, and I don't know where they go from here because there's going to be some open question as to whether or not it was lightning in a bottle with Johnny Manziel or not. And I like Kevin. He's a good coach, and I think they're going to get it done. They've definitely recruited, but they're at least a year away from sort of their classes, their recruiting classes taking hold. So on the one, I actually think I might not have voted for Texas A&M. The good news is, this is my standard disclaimer, even though USA Today sponsors that poll, I don't vote. That's why they call it the coaches poll. So, direct your ire at those guys. They're the ones that disrespected your team, But I do think this. Everybody understands that the SEC is really good. That half of their 14 teams are in there. Half of the Pac-12's 12 teams are in there. Those are far and away the 2 best leagues, top to bottom, and they're both fairly deep. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see how things play out. And I'll say one other thing too about the poll. Florida State, I think that's a team everybody ought to have ranked number 1. They bring back almost everybody, including Jameis Winston, who's a fairly important player. I think when you look at the rest of the sort of the teams that we look up there in that 6 or 7, there are pretty significant questions about all those teams. Alabama, Auburn, Oklahoma, you name it. Oregon. I can give you the reasons why they shouldn't be there. I could pick them, each one of them apart. Now, they all got significant strengths too. It's why they're there. But I can give you the worst case scenario on all of them, and it's kind of interesting. It's going to be who answers those questions.
Well, George, we really appreciate it. Before I let you go, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Who's your top 4 when the dust settles at the end of the season?
I'm going to go Florida State because of what they got coming back, but as much as that because of their scheduling. Now, I think their biggest problem, and this could be a big one, is complacency. And Alabama has seen that over the last couple of years. It's hard to maintain that edge. And let me leave the SEC pick for last. I think you're looking at Oregon. I think you're looking at a Michigan State, although I know Ohio State's sort of the flavor du jour. I like Michigan State.
I like Michigan State too, George.
Yeah, this is just me about to be dead wrong on all this, by the way. So I understand this. I'm just pulling this stuff out of a hat. And then for the 4th team, not necessarily the 4th seed, but the 4th team coming out of the SEC, let me go the other side. I'm going to give Steve Spurrier the nod this time. I'm going to go with South Carolina, and I do that as much as anything else because I understand that If I say Auburn, that's great. If I say Alabama, that's great, and that I might get in big trouble with fans of either school. So I think it's more likely to be Auburn or Alabama, but I think it's time for the SEC East to put one out there, and it could be Steve Spurrier's time to get it going. So maybe not the right answer, but the SEC champion will have every chance to win the whole thing as usual.
Well, George, we're going to look forward to it, and we really appreciate you taking time out to be on our program this afternoon. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, you guys give me a call. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, George. That's George Schroeder, national college football writer for the USA Today, and again, we thank him for taking time out to be on the program. We are up against a break. When we come back, Randy will join me, and we'll continue to take your calls, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Stay tuned. More Sports Call coming your way, presented by Always Money.
Stop by your local TK's convenience store where Resource Natural Spring Water 700 milliliter bottles are buy one, get one free. Resource is a 100% natural spring water with naturally occurring electrolytes for taste. It's good for you and mindful of the environment thanks to a bottle made with 50% recycled plastic. So visit your local TK's convenience store to refresh, revitalize, and replenish with a special buy one, get one free offer on Resource Spring Water. Offer valid 5/1 through 6/30/2014. Excludes label and cap. Recycling facilities may not be available in your area.
Gotta get the deal. Deals auto sales. If I'm mad, you got to get the deal. Been asking for lowdowns, now I'm here to say, Gil's Phoenix City Walmart has them on the way. Everything on the lot is $4.99 down. Gil's price and selection is the best around. That low down payment gets you on your way. $4.99 down, you'll be riding today. Gotta get the deal. Gil's auto sales. If I'm mad, you got to get the deal. Selection and price. Got to get the deal. Gotta get the deal.
I've always wanted to join a gym, but with my hectic schedule and tight budget, it's just never been an option. I had a few minutes between soccer practice and gymnastics, so I thought I'd check out Tiger Iron Gym. I was pleasantly surprised. An August membership only costs $1. Then it's only $19.99 a month after. Tiger Iron's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They've got a huge selection of equipment, so I never have to wait. And get this, Tiger Iron Gym is locally owned. I love it. Tiger Iron Gym, your hometown gym, in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Whatever USA.
Thanks for coming. This summer, Bud Light is creating a town called Whatever USA, the most marvelous, spectacular town for people who are up for whatever. And you could come. I will now take a few questions. Yes, you in front.
Is Whatever USA a real town?
It's as real as this voice-enhancing software. Next question.
How do I get to whatever?
Are you up for whatever?
Yes.
Perfect. Then audition at upforwhatever.com or your local participating Bud Light retailer. What kind of people is Bud Light looking for? We want yes people. Let's do it people. And this seems slightly unorthodox, but sure, why not people? But my ride here. Bring it on, professional voice guy.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Bud Light Whatever USA video contest open to U.S. residents 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Ends August 31st, 2014. Visit upforwhatever.com for official rules, entry, prices, and details. Void where prohibited.
Stop by your local Bud Light retailer and ask about all the great Bud Light promotions in your area. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. When you're over 21. Are you up for whatever?
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Auburn Links is proud to honor the people who keep us safe, the men and women of the military, and the police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County. To show their thanks, Auburn Links is offering you special discounts. Just show your ID, and you'll get 18 holes of the best golf around for just $25 anytime. That's right, members of the military, along with police, fire, and EMTs of Lee County, 18 holes for just $25. Auburn Links wants to thank you for what you do with a great round of golf. Auburn Links, off exit 51. Call 887-5151.
It's the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lee County Fairgrounds, Saturday, August 9th, sponsored by the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Bull riding, barrel racing, and the Blaine Rudd Band. Kids' tickets are just $10, adults $15. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Storybook Farms. Get tickets on our Facebook page, 5 at the gate, or Play It Again Sports. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour, August 9th at 7 p.m. Gates open at 5:30 at the Lee County Fairgrounds, sponsored by the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Go with Graceland Portable Buildings for storage facilities and the highest quality hunting and fishing cabins you'll ever see. Graceland blows away the competition with the finest building materials, top quality lumber, and secure metal roofs. And Graceland is so sure that their buildings will move only when you want them to that they offer the strongest warranties in the business. Buy outright or lease to own, there is no credit check required. And Graceland will deliver and set up your new building for free. Look for the G and visit Graceland Portable Buildings on South College in Auburn, or go to GracelandPortableBuildings.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of Sports Call. Sports Call brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care. Again, give us a call, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. I want to thank George Schroeder from USA Today for being part of the program.
Outstanding guest. And to all of our listeners out there and those following us on social media, let us know if you've got guests that you'd like for us to reach out to and have on the program. Brett, I've had more comments on the Terry Henley interview that we did, probably over any other one. And because I think Auburn fans just enjoy listening to Terry Henley talk about Auburn football. And so if there are ex-players you want us to reach out to, we'll definitely do that. And quickly, let's go back to the phone line. Shadow and Prattville, you're on Sports Call.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about that scenario that you mentioned for last year that would have involved Alabama. So now, correct me if I'm wrong or where I'm wrong, but it would go like this. Alabama goes the whole season undefeated, plays Auburn, gets beat. Alabama goes to the grocery store and gets a bunch of snacks and watches Auburn get beat in the championship game, and then Alabama gets ready to go play in the playoff. I'm just giving you a scenario. What I would like for you to do, if you will, give me one other team in NCAA football that has the scenario that Alabama does, where they can play the whole season, lose one game, take a break, not play in a championship game, and still go to the national title game.
The only one that I can think of, Shadow, that would kind of get that I guess that love from the people that would be picking would be Ohio State. If they made it all the way through and then lost to Michigan, and Michigan was a good team and they were highly ranked, and they lost right there at the very end, and they sat out, and Michigan went to the Big Ten championship game and played, whoever and lost, I think Ohio State get the benefit of the doubt.
Well, now, isn't this the reason why the schedule strength is supposed to make a difference? I mean, where a team that may not have as good a record would go because they play a tougher strength of schedule. Otherwise, why play such a tough schedule if there's no reward for the risk that you're taking?
Well, one of the things that we just talked about, and I think you're going to see, Shadow, and I know you're a proponent of not playing a lot of tough teams outside of the conference, and I agree with you there. You'll see that mindset change when this committee gives the benefit of the doubt to a team with 2 or 3 losses over a team with 1 loss or no losses. And George Schroeder just said it too. He feels like that's coming because it's more discrepancy. Then people and teams are going to be okay with scheduling tougher teams outside.
Well, I see that. I see that scenario of what you're talking about, and I certainly hope to see it. Let me ask you. Well, I see you got to go.
Go on and throw it out there, Shadow. What you got?
Well, I was just wondering whether you believe that when the committee comes out with their first poll, whether you believe it will look like all the other scenarios out there that have already given preseason rankings.
We'll talk about that when we come back. We appreciate your call as always, Shadow, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give us a call, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Stay tuned. More Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care right after this.
What we just said.
No, I mean, he ain't called about once in about 2 weeks. So
We got some good ones. I like the Alabama fan Anthony. He'll call. I mean, I think that those people are good.
They are.
He normally has a good take, and he's not.
We probably have 4 or 5 regular callers.
Good callers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Real good in a 2-hour show.
And the thing we can do, the more.
It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
What is LNG? It's a team of professionals with the tools to create a successful marketing plan to help your business grow. LNG has successful designs that get results for the individual and the business. We provide signs of all types, screen printing and embroidery, promotional products, web design, audio and video production, and much more. LNG has 3 locations to serve you in Alex City, Dadeville, and the Auburn-Opelika area. Call us at 888-533-6758. So, you're a business owner in need of durable, comfortable work uniforms and hats. Or maybe your high school won the section championship and you want to celebrate with custom t-shirts. Or perhaps you'd like matching tees and hats for your family reunions barbecue. At Lee Apparel, we offer you a full-service production facility right here in Central Alabama. From design to printing, every aspect of your order is taken care of here with real people. Find out more at leeapparel.com or call us.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 93.9, WTGZ, Union Springs, Montgomery, and Auburn, and AM 620 WTRP, LaGrange.
Fox Sports trending now.
Live from Los Angeles, I'm Tom Looney. Slaving over a hot microphone. San Francisco 49ers and coach Jim Harbaugh have decided to forget contract extension talks until next year. No secret that.
Test. There we go.
There you go. Whatever. Yeah.
One.
I need.
I'm muffled.
Oh God, what was that?
He don't know what's going on right there.
Test.
It's just in and out, boy. You better get it fixed. One way or the other. 1, 2. That's better.
That's a little better, but I'm still low.
Yeah.
Test.
1, 2.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, I'm better
that's
now.
That's bearable.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm lower than Brett though.
1, 2. Yep. You are.
A good bit lower than Brett.
Dustin Johnson for 6 months.
I'm lower than Brett.
Testing positive for cocaine. And I'm Looney.
Test.
1, 2. Test.
I'm so tired of eating pizza.
I'm out.
You want a real meal? You know, just like Mama's home cooking. Dine in, carry out, or have veggies to go on South College. Cater your next meal. You can eat food different moms 7 days a week and have something different every day. Pork chops, country fried steak and gravy, meat
Hey, I'm
more.
down.
Served with all kinds of fresh veggies and casseroles. And don't miss out on Miss Jeannie's homemade desserts. So when you're craving the comfort from home, it's always veggies to go on South College and Auburn.
They say business can get downright dirty. At Advanced Disposal, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer dedicated solid waste and recycling services. We work hard to leave your business a little cleaner than we found it. Whether the job is big or small, we do all the heavy lifting so you can focus solely on your customers, because that's what business is all about. Advanced Disposal, always working to keep your business and community beautiful. Visit AdvancedDisposal.com or call your local facility and discover our full range of commercial services today.
All right, guys, bring it in. Listen up. I want to talk about it last night. Yes, sir. Maybe you had your friends over, huh? Cracked open some icy cold Budweisers, and maybe, just maybe, you had yourself the night of your life. Well, yesterday's over, boys, but tonight Tonight is just beginning. You got a bunch of bonus buds sitting pretty in your fridge. I want you to crack them open, and I want you to mass text all your friends and round them all up again for round 2. I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear. But we're tired from yesterday, Coach. Or the cleaning lady just left. That's what the fool who missed it would say. Gentlemen, listen to me. You need to go out there and live, and you need to do it tonight. Carpe diem, boys. And while you're at it, carpe nightem too. Great times await. Great job, boys.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't give up just yet. All Around Computers can help. 887-7773. They come to you for all your technology and computer service needs. If you don't want to install it, configure it, or even deal with it, All Around Computers can do it all. 887-7773. Do you have pop-ups, viruses, or is your computer running slow? All Around Computers can help you with it all.
Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, that's good now. Ooh, that's real good.
Computers today. They come
We're rocking and rolling now. We got a little bass going.
Test.
Yeah, good.
7773.
There's nothing like the signature honey glazed Lost Life ham from Honeybake. Hey, this is Crystal.
It ain't
from catering corporate
trust
meetings
me, I
to
mean,
providing
we're
box
talking
lunches
night
for
and
your
day
next
compared
event.
to that.
Honeybake ham is just what you're
I
looking
like
for, including full meals with sides and desserts. Don't forget to stop by our deli for lunch or dinner, open 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. You don't have to wait for the holidays. Plan your Honeybake feast today. Give us a call at 741-8411. Stop by and see us on Gateway Drive in Opelika, or order online at myhoneybakestore.com. Honeybake ham, perfect every time. We guarantee it.
You better buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a show to watch.
From Tiger Communications.
Jackson, touchdown.
For 20 years, East Alabama's sports talk leader.
Swing and drive. Mountain right.
Sportscall.
Oh,
call in now at 887-3401 or 1-888-9-TIGER-9 toll free.
Strike him out.
And now, coming to you.
Ain't no way you're going to get this off without the picture. Well, we're not up against any deadlines. I know. How much that go way back to the camcorder. The camcorder kind of a digital thing. Or the digital thing. And you could hitch up to this, see, it would record for so many hours. Well, if you hear anything, I will. Don't see it. Okay, but see if they have to. Well, there's no problem. It's gone.
A lot of big plays. So Sammy Coates and Duke Williams may put up big numbers in regards to yards per catch and touchdowns, but the yardage may not correlate with the same amount of points that they're going to be putting up. But I think we'll be up a lot, and that'll cause some of the running game to go as well, more in that direction. So a lot of it will go with the tempo and pace of the game, but I don't see too many teams that will be able to stop us on the ground, maybe 2 or 3 teams, and outside of that, I think offensively, they're just going to be tough to stop.
Scott, thanks so much for the phone call today, buddy, and look forward to having you on next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
And we'd love to hear from all of you out there, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Tons of interaction today on Twitter. Sportscall AU is where you can find us there. Our question of the day, it was a good one, Brett, that you came up with. In 2010 and 13, AU rushed for more than 6 yards per carry. Do they need to do that again to win the SEC this year? Again, we'd love to hear from you. A couple of questions that have been thrown out there on Twitter, and if you throw them out, I'm going to ask Brett as they come through, and we appreciate all of it. Yeah, hot seat again. What newcomer do you think will have the biggest impact during the season for Auburn?
I didn't hesitate, did I, when I answered? Trey Williams, 6'2", 225 pounds, and by the way, all you out there, and I mean there's a bunch of you, you don't know what number these guys have got on. Trey Williams will be wearing 30. That's what he wore in high school. Randy, you and I watched him up close and personal a couple of times. Tremendous player. I think he's going to help that linebacking core. He's going to get in and get some reps.
Yeah, I think that Trey Williams is one. A couple of other names that I would look for to really jump up and have a big impact on the season. I think it's going to be on the defensive line. Which of those players can make a difference from what we've seen in years past for me? I think Elijah Daniels could be a player. He saw some action last year, but we didn't see a lot, and with Carl Lawson out, I think it's going to open the door for him to get more playing time at defensive end. Gabe Wright has completely changed his body. I don't know how much weight he's lost. Don't know if he's lost any, but I can tell you he looks completely different. If you follow him on Twitter, he kind of gave a before and after take, I think, looking at himself in the mirror, and you can tell a drastic change. So he'll also play a defensive tackle role and a defensive end role, both for this Auburn team. So I think either of those could be players that could jump out and make a huge impact that we didn't see from last year. One other question. Why is Auburn the Rodney Dangerfield of college football? 13 seconds from the BCS crown, ranked 5th. I don't see why we won't be better. Your thoughts, Brett?
Well, a couple of things, and you know I'm the biggest Auburn fan, you know, but you go back and look at things logically. Auburn, you know, they blew a big lead against Georgia, had to come back with a miracle catch. The way the play ended, the Iron Bowl, I'm so glad it ended that way. You know it because I was sitting right beside you. You know I was glad it ended that way. But, you know, on championship seasons, you got to have things come back. And Auburn lost a lot of talented guys up front. Not saying they're not replacing them, but you lose Greg Robinson, you lose Trey Mason, you lose guys like that. Again, not to say they're not replaceable, but they were benchmarks on that team. So I don't think being ranked 5 going in the preseasons, you know, I've seen us be disrespected a lot worse. Now, if we'd have come back and been ranked 15th this year, I would say, yeah, definitely Rodney Dangerfield. And I definitely think Auburn has carried the Rodney Dangerfield tag on themselves for years. But I think being up there in the top 5 says, look, hey, it's y'all's to lose.
888-9-TIGER-9. Sportscall AU is where you can find us on Twitter. And back over to you, Brett. We've talked a little bit about the off-field concerns for Auburn. I think some of the questions were at least answered for me going into fall practice today. First off, the speculation. Have you heard anything? We got to bring it up because it's been all over social media, and we've had a number of phone calls. Robinson Thorese, have you read anything to substantiate the claims that are out there? We won't even put the claims out there, but have you read anything else?
No, I haven't, but what claims we're talking about is that he may be hit with a 6-game suspension, you know, and then Jonathan Mincy with a 3-game suspension, and then possibly Nick Marshall with a 1. So it's all speculation. Gus Malzahn has not stepped up to a podium or a microphone and said, all right, this is what's going to go down. So, you know, maybe somebody inside leaked that out, and it's been tweeted out, but you can't believe everything you see on Twitter and Facebook and on the Internet. So, I don't know. I think you'll find out sooner than later, though.
How much do you read in, though, that Jonathan Mincy's with the first-team secondary and Nick Marshall getting the first-team reps on offense? Do you read anything into that?
No, I don't read. I read into that's where they expect them to play. And I think on day one, if you come out in fall camp and Nick Marshall's not taking reps with the first team, look, Nick Marshall's the starting quarterback of this team.
Now, he may be suspended for Arkansas, and I'm not even too sure that's going to happen. But Nick Marshall needs to be practicing with the first team because he's going to play first team. Jonathan Mincy's the same way. He may be hit with a 2 or 3 game suspension, but Jonathan Mincy needs to be getting work. Now, they need to be working somebody else in there with him if he's going to be sitting on the bench for a couple of games. But, you need to let status quo be where it is until you come out and make a formal announcement.
Alex Kozan, not at practice, not dressed out today. We've been hearing the speculation that he may be out for an extended period of time. Don't know any proof there. Coach Malzahn is supposed to address the media on Alex Kozan being out of practice today, Brett. It's a big loss. He's a good – when you get an interior lineman that has been lined up next to a Reese Dismukes the entire year last year, you get a continuity that you see between linemen, especially 2 linemen that line up side by side. That is a big loss right there if we do lose him. But Avery Young looks to move from the right tackle position down to right guard, which opens up Patrick Miller to start at right tackle for Auburn.
Not a bad guy to go to. Patrick Miller 2 years ago got majority of the starts at right tackle, and he steps right in and he's seasoned. I mean, the reason he couldn't get on the field last year was because Avery Young did a tremendous job and Kozan was doing a good job at guard. There was nowhere to move. But now, again, I go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. It's good that Auburn has depth at offensive line.
Sean Coleman. What a story
this is going to be. Best story of the year.
We heard parts of the story last year, but you're going to continue to hear this story as the season progresses. If he continues on the path that he looks to be on, he was the starter as practice started today at left tackle.
And to recap, he was a 5-star guy out of Mississippi. Everybody wanted him. Auburn was able to land him. Unfortunately, leukemia was his diagnosis. He fought that, won it. Is back now playing, earned a left tackle job in the SEC with the team that's the defending SEC champions. I mean, it's not like, we're going to, a sympathy store, we're going to stick you out there.
Taking over for a top 10 pick.
Well, that's exactly right. And everybody expected Sean Coleman to be that guy, and he's worked his way. It will truly be, if things work its way out, will be the comeback story of the year, no doubt.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Sportscall AU is where you can find us. And, Brett, we'll throw some trivia out there in this hour. Sportscall T-shirts and decals that we'll give away. We also give those away throughout the week as you interact with us on social media. And we got about a minute left here on this segment. We're looking forward, Brett. We got a new show lineup starting next week. You'll be hearing more from both you and I. You'll be hearing more from Andy. You'll still hear from Will Moon and Bill Bailey on Monday as they'll kick things off each week with Sports Call. And then the following 4 days will be the 3 of us. And we're looking forward to the changeover and looking forward to the extended time that we'll be on air. We're talking our favorite topic, Auburn football.
Well, we're glad to be part of it. Can't thank everybody enough. Appreciate all the support out there that we've had via phone calls, emails, support on Facebook and Twitter. We couldn't do it without you guys out there. You make the show. That's why we come on air every day, and we really appreciate it. And we want to hear from you in the next segment, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. When we come back, we'll talk about your top 4 out there, who you think it might be. This Clemson game. I want to go back to that again. I mean, couldn't Auburn have found somebody else? We'll talk about it when we come back. Stay tuned. More Sports Call here on Friday, presented by Always Money, right after this.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Molly's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly, Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
What is LNG? It's a team of professionals with the tools to create a successful marketing plan to help your business grow. LNG has successful designs that get results for the individual and the business. We provide signs of all types, screen printing and embroidery, promotional products, web design, audio and video production, and much more. LNG has 3 locations to serve you in Alex City, Dadeville, and the Auburn-Opelika area. Call us at 888-533-6758.
Lake Winds Golf Course, the most affordable, quality round of golf in Central Alabama.
Located right off Highway 280 on County Road 4 in Alexander City, Lake Winds Golf Course offers affordable memberships, an updated pro shop, junior golf program, annual tournaments, and weekly matches. Call for your tee time today, 256-825-9860. Lake Winds Golf Course.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
There's no doubt that high school and college athletics rule the state of Alabama. Increase exposure for your business by spending your advertising dollars on the best sports programming in Alabama with Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network. In a sports-hungry state like Alabama, Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network will offer your business the best return on investment. We have packages designed to fit any budget. Call today at 256-794-8223.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
At Russell Do-It Center Store, you'll find a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies, paint, tools, and lawn and garden merchandise. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rated products, and competitive do-it-best pricing. Russell Do-It Center also offers free estimates, free local delivery, and price match promise. Check us out at www.russelldoitcenter.com or visit one of our 9 locations in Central Alabama.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of Sports Call. Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee here with you. Sports Call brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care. Auburn Urgent Care offers convenient solutions for your health care and occupational medicine needs, including workman's compensation injury care and certified DOT medical examinations. With locations on South College and in Tigertown, visit them online at auburnurgentcare.com. 334-887-3401, 888-9-TIGER-9, or on Twitter. You can find us at Sportscall AU. A lot of you have found us on Twitter today, and we appreciate that. You can always shoot us over a question or a comment that way. And again, Randy, a lot of thanks goes out to our guest George Schroeder in the first hour from USA Today National College Football. Again, he brought up his top 4. He said obviously Florida State. He's got Oregon, Michigan State. I like Michigan State too. I think Michigan State wins the Big Ten. They may have been the best team in college football last year at the end of the year. And I mean, I'm including Florida State and Auburn. They just were a tremendous force. The way they played, the way they whipped up on Stanford, and the way they moved on into the bowl game and won. And then South Carolina was his 4th pick. He said South Carolina, he said it is time for Steve Spurrier to rise up. He said now, really in his heart of hearts, he thinks Alabama or Auburn will be the one. But he said, South Carolina's due. We all hope they're not.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that bill of goods. Dylan Thompson, we've seen him on the field for South Carolina. He's okay. But there was a reason that Connor Shaw came back in and took over that Missouri game and won it. It wasn't because Dylan Thompson was playing great football and needed Connor Shaw to come in. That's my feel. Now, he's been there a while. He's seen some action on the field, but he doesn't woo you with his ability. And if that's the case, Davis, I love him in the backfield. But otherwise, though, Bud, I just am not overly impressed with South Carolina. They have been lucky to be in the East as long as they have. They got a tough draw with us coming out of the West this year. So good luck to them, but I don't see them doing anything, honestly.
No, it'll be interesting to see. I don't buy it either, but I think he's just saying, eventually over time that teams probably become due, and that. But I think you're going to see so many different scenarios between now and then, and who's going to make that top 4. A lot of things going on in the world of college sports. I want to throw over to talk about Alabama for just a second. Nick Saban announced their running back, Bo Scarborough, has yet to qualify academically and will not be with the team this fall. Not detrimental this year, although he is a tremendous talent. I've seen him up close. You have too. Just a physical specimen. One of the top players, in the country, and 5-star when he came out. Went from Northridge High School here in Alabama, and then transferred down to IMG Academy in Florida. He will not be part of the team this fall. Nick Saban also announced that Brandon Ivory, Jaron Reed, and Tim Williams have been suspended for violation of team rules and policies, and based on when they get accomplished what they have to do to get back on the team, they'll stay suspended.
Bo Scarborough, I thought the reason he was heading on down to IMG was to get qualified. If that was the issue, maybe that's not the story. But when you say that, I'm not surprised. One thing that I am a little bit surprised with is over the last few years for Auburn and Alabama, most of the players getting in.
Yes, they are.
5-6 years ago, bro, it seemed like it was nothing for 4 to 5 to 6 players out of a signing class to be placed into a junior college, placed into another school where they can get their grades up in order to get back here, like a Georgia Military Academy. Not seeing that near as much. How do you weigh that? I mean, thoughts on that?
Well, better preparation and making sure that, look, you have to stress to these guys that it doesn't matter how great you are and how many great schools recruit you. If you do not have the academics, you're not going to play. And so I think these coaches coming in and saying, look, we know you're a great player. We want you to come play for us, but you better be taking care of business in the classroom.
I just think that's always been
attention to detail.
I think it's always been stressed. I don't know if you're right. The media and the talk and the constant communication on what you need and what you've got to do, and more social media outlets so you can find and gain knowledge on the combines that these kids go on starting in their freshman and sophomore years. Maybe it's talked to a lot more about than it used to be, but it is still a little bit amazing. It's a good thing. It's a real good thing if you're an Auburn and Alabama fan right now that you're getting your kids in school.
Absolutely it is. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. The SEC having 10 teams in that top part of the poll, Randy, and 10 of the top 29, 7 of the top 20. Here they are: Alabama at 2, Auburn at 5, South Carolina at 9, Georgia at 12, LSU at 13, Mississippi, or Ole Miss, at 19, and Texas A&M at 20. And that's the one I'm kind of not buying. That, to me, they're ranked way high, and Mississippi State's way down, and they're the 10th team out of the top 29, so they're sitting there at 29. They're coming in, but Florida comes in at 27, Missouri at 26. So 10 of the top 29 teams in the coaches poll from the SEC, and majority of them from the West.
Yes, I do expect big things out of them if recruiting rankings mean something. Their class 2 years ago was as good as it gets if you're an Ole Miss fan. Does that parlay into wins? We'll see. They've got a veteran quarterback also coming back. But a lot of the publicity to us in the western side of the division is Mississippi State. I think Dak Prescott and the way that he closed out the season this past year made a lot of people turn their heads. And so, to me, I would probably have Mississippi State a little bit above Ole Miss. But if you're looking at recruiting rankings and then you're looking at talent on the field, you can understand why they expect Hugh Freeze and this Ole Miss team to make a jump.
10 spots between Ole Miss and Mississippi State in the initial poll. I like Dak Prescott, but Ole Miss had to give that game. Ole Miss won that game. Boo Wallace was going in to score, and the ball was knocked out of his hand, and Mississippi State recovered it. So, look, Dak Prescott, yes, I think he gives Mississippi State an outstanding chance. But, again, this Western Division, I mean, how do you survive? I mean, everybody's not going to be ranked in the top 25. And, you know, again, talking about a team that played for the SEC Championship and had a shot to be in the national championship, Missouri comes in at 26 in the initial poll. A lot of people not buying what Gary Pinkel's bringing to the table this year.
I like Matty Malt. I like his quarterbacking style. I think that he could change that, and I believe Missouri has the chance on that eastern side to have a little bit better team than they're projected to have. You haven't said really anything about Georgia. Where do you see Georgia leading into the season?
You know, Georgia at 12, if that's where everybody expects Georgia to finish, that's, to me, again, another blah year.
When I listen to the media talk, though, they're a hot commodity. I hear more about Georgia than I have.
They're hot every year.
Well, I'm hearing a lot about them this year, and I know the running back core, but, again, I'm not buying that bill of goods also, which if I'm sitting here saying that I'm not buying South Carolina or Georgia, does that mean that I'm higher on Florida than we were a couple of years ago? Do you think Florida can get through?
They were my surprise team in media days in my picks. I thought Florida is a team that backs against the wall. They got a lot of talent. They were embarrassed last year. They changed offenses. I think if they're a team that can come out of the woodwork, it will be them. Randy, we're up against a break. We come back. We'll talk about Georgia. Malcolm Mitchell re-injures his knee. Right knee again. He was Georgia decimated with injuries last year. Already starting off with bad news there. Saturday Down South ranked the SEC coaches based on potential. What do you think? We'll run down the list. You don't have to agree with them, but we'll run down what they said. The coaches ranked 1 through 14 based on their potential. Up against the break, stay tuned. More Sports Call brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care right after this.
Hi, I'm Pat Dye. I'd like to tell you why I've been a Rare Jewelers customer for more than 30 years. I like the people, I like the jewelry, and I like the prices. The Rare Jewelers has been perfecting what they do since 1946. Their quality is great. They treat each and every customer like a close friend. This is Coach Dye, and in football, I like the Tigers. In jewelry, my choice is Rare Jewelers. Rare Jewelers, Auburn, Opelika, Montgomery, and Spanish Food.
Auburn Bank has money to lend because you have a dream to start, a business to expand, folks to take care of, a future to secure. For what matters most to you in your life, our experienced lenders are ready to assist you in achieving your goals. Auburn Bank, since 1907, your partner, your neighbor, your friend. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at auburnbank.com.
Gotta get the deal. Deals auto sales. We can finance you. Got to get the deal. Then asking for lowdowns. All I'm here to say, Gil's Phoenix City Walmart has them on the way. Everything on the lot is $4.99 down. Gil's price and selection is the best around. That low down payment gets you on your way. $4.99 down. You'll be riding today. Gotta get the deal. Deals auto sales. We can finance you. Got to get the deal. Selection and price. Got to get the deal. Gotta get the deal.
TK's convenience stores are prepared to help you on your dash home. Whether you need to grab a gallon of milk, bread, drinks, or some cash from the ATM, TK's is there for you. At TK's convenience stores, we work hard to carry those items that you need to grab quickly, and we pride ourselves on high-quality gasoline and clean stores. So don't stress about your evening. Slow down and stop at one of TK's 14 locations to grab what you need. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Okay, Stu, we're stuck in this traffic with a truck full of Lipton Peach iced tea. What should we do with it? Let's hand some out right here and tell people how they could win an extra sundae from Lipton.
Oh, yeah. Hey there, lady with the errands to run.
Sitting in your minivan, having no fun.
You need some free time.
Time to be your best.
Drink this Lipton iced tea and we'll do all the rest.
Extra sundae, yeah.
You could win an extra sundae.
Extra sundae, yeah.
You could win a super fun day.
This is delicious. Wait, did you say I could win an extra sundae?
Yep, all summer Lipton is giving you the time to do what you love.
Lipton will take on your have-to-do list so you can take on your want-to-do list.
So I can have a ton of fun instead of a ton of errands?
You got it!
Extra Sunday, here I come.
Visit LiptonSunday.com to find out how you could win an extra Sunday. Lipton, be more tea. No purchase necessary. Promotion ends September 6, 2014. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 and up. Go to LiptonSunday.com for official rules. Void where prohibited. Subject to official rules.
Auburn Links is your home for great golf. Just off exit 51, Auburn Links features a beautiful layout with marina grass greens and rolling fairways, all right next to Ferguson's Mill Creek. For the last 20 years, Auburn Links has been providing Lee County with the best golfing experience around, whatever your skill level may be. Looking for a fun family activity? Auburn Links has great group rates and membership specials for everyone, and their weekday rates now include Fridays. Be sure to follow Auburn Links on Facebook and Twitter for special deals and limited time offers. Auburn Links on Shelton Parkway. Call 887-5151.
Hi, I'm Ashley with USA Team Handball, and we're so excited to be working with Auburn University, training here on the Plains. We're working towards representing Team USA in the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, and we need your help. We want to invite you to learn more by going to usateamhandball.org, liking us on Facebook, and following us on Twitter @USATH. To help us out on the road to Rio, go to crowdrise.com/USATH. Every little bit helps, and all donations are tax deductible. Thanks for letting USA Team Handball be a part of the Auburn community. Go USA and War Eagle!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of Sports Call. Sports Call brought to you by Always Money. Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee here with you, taking your calls. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. And, again, real quick, going back to Georgia, again, Malcolm Mitchell injures his right knee and is going to miss some time. Again, he missed most of the season last year due to that right knee injury. Will he ever be back to where he needs to be? He's the number one threat in the receiving corps for Georgia, so that's a blow for them. Georgia has been in the media. They've been in the media a lot for the wrong reasons, like a lot of teams, including Auburn and Alabama, in the all season with a lot of off-the-field problems. It seems every week there's something, but Sports Nation put out a poll. Which SEC teams' all-season issues will present the greatest on-field questions this coming season? Georgia overwhelmingly voted number one, 42% of the votes, and that's 14,133 people voting in that poll. Coming in second, Texas A&M, third, Auburn with 13%, and then Alabama fourth with 12%. Missouri comes in fifth with 8%, and that's alluding to Dorial Green Beckham. But Georgia, one problem after another coming out, and they've established this reputation, Randy, and it's not always on the head coach. Again, I feel sorry for these head coaches because they can only do so much, and these players spend a lot more time with the assistant coaches and GAs than they do with the head coach. But obviously, the head man has got to set a precedence of what he expects in his program, and there's obviously not any respect for him.
Yeah, it's an odd situation. I don't know if it's the quality of player that they're getting. I don't know if it's the quality of player from the areas they're getting these players from. I don't know. You just sit here and you speculate. But I do know that one of the mothers came out and said, don't blame this on Georgia. Don't blame this on Mark Richt. These are these kids making these mistakes. And I tend to lean that way big time. I mean, you said it about Gus Malzahn when the issue came out with Nick Marshall. Now, Nick Marshall was a Georgia guy. He's an Auburn guy. Trey Matthews was a Georgia guy. Now he's an Auburn guy. You got to keep them on the straight and narrow. Auburn has done a pretty good job of taking kids that have left other SEC programs and kept them on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
But this Nick Marshall incident happens, and we still don't know exactly what goes on there. But I do. I feel sorry for the administration. I feel sorry for the coaches that work so hard to get prepared for a season. And the Friday before you go over to media days, the following week, you get in trouble. Now, it's a tough pill to swallow.
You've got to, at some point in time, think about somebody other than yourself. Think about the people that you're letting down. Think about the people that have bought into you and that have a lot of faith in you. Gus Malzahn and Mark Richt has faith in these guys, and they go out there and they throw it all to the wind. So it's an issue. So it leads into Saturday Down South ranked SEC coaches based on their potential. All right, and I thought this was interesting. And I'll start at 14 and work our way up to 1. 14 is Brett Bielema. I probably agree with that. He comes in from Wisconsin and in the Big Ten, And, while he was at Wisconsin, all he did was talk about the SEC. Now he's in the SEC, and he's in the toughest division in college football. I don't see them getting any better. And I see them in a doldrum situation because of their geographic location. And in his system, it's going to take some time. Not saying he won't ever get it turned around, but I think that's right at 14.
It's I guess so. I guess if I had to choose, then I would be more skeptical about Vandy's program moving forward than I would Arkansas.
You'll be amazed at where they've got there at Mason. And I'll run through these. Mark Stoops at 13 with Kentucky. Butch Jones at 12. Not a lot of faith in Butch Jones at Tennessee to get this thing turned around. Are you seeing Tennessee turning things around right now?
I see them on the recruiting front turning things around. I see him in the media saying the right things.
Yeah.
Dewey didn't do a terrible job recruiting, but you watching his in-game actions and the way he handled himself, and you just felt that it was aloof. It was a lot like Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lane Kiffin, when you watched him at Southern Cal, which, by the way, roll tide to all of you out there. I'm so proud Lane Kiffin was thrown on that program because that is going to be a soap opera.
It's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
That I don't think we've talked enough about. But when you watched USC, I remember the day he was fired. And for some reason, ESPN's out there. They're on the West Coast, and he looks ruffled. He's got a visor on sideways. Looks like he hadn't slept in about 4 days. And he's on the side of the athletic complex, and the sun's just coming up. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's got to be the 6 or 7 or 8 years worth of the worst soap opera that I have ever seen. And then to have us luck up enough that Nick Saban, of all people, chooses that one. That is still amazing to me. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't get over his attire at the Sun Bowl. When it was cloudy and raining, he had a hoodie on with sunglasses, like the Unabomber. I mean, to me, going back to Derek Dooley, a lot of former players and players that didn't play for him, like an Al Wilson, just blew him up in the media this past week. Just said he destroyed Tennessee's program. He took it on down. Lane Kiffin started it. Derek Dooley went on and took a sledgehammer and took the foundation out. You go on down the line, Gary Pinkel at 11, Mark Richt at 10. Based on potential. Now think about it. Think about the talent he's had and what he's accomplished. Probably pretty close.
Our co-host with Sports Blitz has written a number of articles, has talked at length until he's blue in the face on the thoughts about the Georgia program, the most underachieving program in the SEC to him when you look at every school surrounding them, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, LSU, all of these programs that they
South Carolina
have just as good an opportunity. I bring up the others because they've all won national titles in the last 10 years. And Georgia's sitting there and they haven't won one in 30-some-odd years.
82?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think they didn't. They won it in
80. Excuse me, 80.
Lost it in 82 to Penn State. Right. So this Georgia team they've been good, they've been solid, but they haven't gotten over the hump, and with the amount of talent that they bring in and year out, it is a little bit disappointing.
At 9, Les Miles, are you shocked at where he comes in? I mean, he's won a couple. Has he won one national championship?
I mean, I'm not shocked where Les Miles comes in. I'll reiterate what I said last year to you following the LSU game. Watching Auburn play them in the second half, what did I tell you? I called you after the game. I said, Gus Malzahn.
Oh, yeah. When they have the same amount of talent.
We've got the same thoroughbreds on our side as he's got. He will wipe up the field with Les Miles. He almost did it in the second half last year. You could tell the momentum ended up with Auburn, and after that, Auburn goes on this tremendous run. So I'm not surprised. Les Miles, to me, I think, has really gotten away with premier talent. Now, a lot of people like him. You'd be surprised how many people like Les Miles.
Now, you're exactly right. And finishing this list up, Derek Mason at 8. So Derek Mason there at 8. I mean, he comes in behind a guy that really did some things at Vanderbilt, but, you know, they believe in him. Kevin Sumlin at 7, Dan Mullen at 6, Will Muschamp at 5. So, again, there's still – people hadn't sold him out yet. Nick Saban at number 4. Nick Saban comes in on Saturdays down south. SEC coaches based on potential comes in at 4.
I don't get it.
Well,
I like Gus Malzahn at 1, but I don't know how in the world you put anybody else above him. You want to put Steve Spurrier above him? Why?
Well,
what has Spurrier done to say he's a better coach?
Most wins in South Carolina history. nowhere near the same talent level as Nick Saban.
On the Eastern Division.
In the Eastern Division.
When it has never been as low as it currently is.
I'm just saying the reasoning behind what they said is that and I've heard this talk too. I've actually heard this talk over the past couple of weeks. What do you think? And I think it may have been on Feinbaum's show. I can't remember. Do you think Nick Saban, if he were at South Carolina Spurrier at Alabama, do you think it would be the same roles?
I take Nick Saban all day, every day over Steve Spurrier.
But I think it feels like Steve Spurrier would have probably won 2 or 3 national championships at Alabama too.
Maybe, but I mean, he only won one.
I agree with you.
During that great stretch in Florida, and Spurrier would. He should have won. I think that you still need to point back. He did win 6 SEC titles during his stint at Florida,
absolutely,
but only win 1 national title during that.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
You got to bring that up. And Saban to win 3 out of 5. Look, I'm an Auburn fan sitting up here saying this, but Nick Saban with his 4 national titles trumps Steve Spurrier with his 1, even if you want to throw that he was at South Carolina, because Steve Spurrier had Florida as strong as anybody, and who was their nemesis most of those years? Auburn.
I know that.
Didn't get over that Auburn hump, and Florida struggled ever since.
They sure did. Finishing it out, Hugh Freeze at 3. Now, that's a shocker to me. That one may be a little bit out of place, but based on potential, Spurrier 2, and then Auburn, so Gus Malzahn at number 1.
Love it. I think Gus Malzahn deserves to be there at number 1. I think he's as dynamic a college coach as we've had in a long, long time. You may have to go back to the great Wishbone days to see someone that has changed the entire landscape, not only in college football, but in high school football. It is as fast as you can get to the line. These are these old Wishbone offense coaches that are trying to figure out how they can emulate what Gus Malzahn's been able to pull off.
But let me go back and preface this. This is not based on what you've accomplished, okay? Because if you're going off what you accomplished, you'd have Nick Saban and Steve Spurrier at the top up there. But this is based on current moving forward, what the situation is in the SEC with the coaches and what they have coming back versus the landscape. Because a lot of people feel like Steve Spurrier's got a very talented team. Auburn coming back off a national championship appearance. Nick Saban bringing back a team that doesn't have a quarterback, and if Auburn is able to win again in the Iron Bowl, what is the speculation going on?
Gary Pinkel, I think, is way low. I think he's a much better coach than we give him credit for. Outside of Auburn last year, putting on an offensive performance for the ages in the SEC title game. We didn't stop them too many times either. So Gary Pinkel, I really point to him and say we will see, and I think that Matty Mark will still have that team very competitive.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401.
2 more quick things that we didn't quite get to, but we were asked about. The Clemson game.
Yes.
You discussed it about it. I mean, why do you not? I agree with the caller that we have lost a couple of times in a row, so I would like to get back on the winning side with Clemson, but who cares? We have played them a lot. Who would you rather who would you rather see?
We won 10 out of 12. I know it left a bad taste in our mouth, but no offense, but Gene Chizik took a team over there that was underprepared. All right, and then we rolled into the kickoff game, the Chick-fil-A kickoff game over there, and we frankly played pretty good, but Taj Boyd just was able to win. But Clemson was on a terrible streak against Auburn. Go get somebody else. I mean, there are so many other teams out there that are comparable to a Clemson. Who would you want to see out there?
Good questions.
Go to the Big Ten and get somebody.
I'd love to see Auburn play Notre Dame. Maybe it's just
I think you're right. I would love to see Notre Dame or Ohio State or Michigan or somebody like that or Penn State. Go up there. Get out of this region. I mean, there's always a chance you're going to play them in a bowl game or something. Anyway, go get somebody. Michigan State. Why not?
I'd love to see us play Oregon.
Absolutely.
I know that we did meet each other in a national title game. Another mention that I saw on our Twitter account this past week, Baylor. What about Baylor? That'd be a great
It would be a great
offensive dynamic beyond belief. You get those 2 teams together.
You know what started the USC back and forth with Auburn was when we played them in the Citrus Bowl back in the 80s. And then they were able to, have a home with them a couple of times. So that's what gets teams associated with one another. Look, it'll be a fun matchup, but it has no pizzazz around it because they played each other so many times. So love to hear from you out there. 888-9-TIGER-9, 887-3401. Final segment of Sports Call coming your way right here. And again, we want to get your calls in. Find us on Sports Call AU out there on Twitter. Stay tuned. More Sports Call presented by Always Money right after this.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your healthcare and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn, or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Molly's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly, Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
When you're looking for the best chicken fingers and wings in town, nothing else will hit the spot better than JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has everything you need to curb a big appetite, and they have all-you-can-eat chicken fingers on Monday night and all-you-can-eat wings on Tuesday night. Any child wearing their City League uniform eats for $1.99 on the kids menu. Check out our Facebook page daily for our dine-in special. Visit us at 145 Alabama Street in Alex City.
Little Cheaper says it's the summer sale you've been waiting for. It's the summer clearance event at Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus. New Ram truck, Chargers, Darts, Journeys, 200s, Grand Caravans, Wranglers, Cherokees, Grand Cherokee, and many more have been drastically discounted for this annual event. Get new 2014 Ram 1500 starting at just $21,488, or a new 2014 Dodge Avenger for only $14,990. Even get a new 2014 Jeep Wrangler for just $24,995. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Columbus even has the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200 in stock. 0% financing available. 0 payments for 90 days. Want more? Bring us your trade, and Carl Gregory will try to pay you top dollar for it. You might even be able to get more than you ever thought possible for your trade. Don't miss the annual summer clearance event going on now at your locally owned dealer. Carl Gregory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rams, 2 giant locations. Victory Drive and the North Lake Auto Complex. Prices under all applicable rebates. All prices exclude tax, tag, title, and limit law fees. Interest, if any, accrues from date of purchase on approved credit. Not available on internet pricing.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports Blitz live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Join Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Call here on this Friday afternoon. Sports Call brought your way by Auburn Urgent Care. So, again, thanks to all of our sponsors out there. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401 to get your call in here in the last few minutes of this Friday edition.
Again, Resource Natural Spring Water. We've got a number of great segment sponsors out there that we definitely want to highlight. We've got a number more coming on, and it's football season, Brett.
We got a new lineup, new show lineup. We'll be kicking off next week as we head. I know we're in August now, but we're really head into August next week. You'll have Will Moon and Bill Bailey back with you from Franklin Tire and Auto on Monday, so make sure to tune into them. And then the following 4 days, Andy Graham will be the host, and Brett and I will be his sidekicks Tuesday through Friday, so stay tuned in to Sports Call. Javon Robinson was in the news this morning. I know it was speculation, but maybe being seen or talked about looking at Alabama. He comes out on Twitter this afternoon out there and says, no, I'm still committed to Auburn. I'm going to Auburn. So, look, we can't have enough running backs. I thought I'd pass that along.
Yeah, you don't want to lose him. He's definitely a guy that is a special talent. Again, it's been a roller coaster for him. I'd like to see him locked down in orange and blue and stay here.
You care anything about kids' new numbers?
I mean, it's okay. It's cool to see. I mean, you follow all these recruits, and when they get there, some people wonder, well, more than some, a lot.
I'll name some of the numbers of some of the top players that we may see this upcoming year as freshmen at Auburn. Defensive back Calvarez Bassett, 5'11", 165. He'll wear number 41. Deshaun Davis, 5'11", 230 pounder. He's a thumper. Number 57 is the number that he will wear. Jaquel Mitchell will wear number 31. An H-back, 6'3", 218. Stephen Roberts from Opelika's 5'11", 180. He'll wear number 14. Braden Smith, 6'6", 299, number 71. Rock Thomas will be in number 9. He weighed in at 193 pounds. And Trey Williams, 6'2", 225, will wear his high school number 30. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller, you on Sports Call?
Hello?
Yeah, you there with us?
Yeah, excited about your new schedule next week. Can you talk a little bit about the kickers? Since we lost both kickers, and that was a huge part of the team last year. If you could talk about that a little bit. And also, how can we catch you online if we're out of the listening area?
SportsCallAuburn.com is the way that you can pull us up online. We'll have a video stream throughout the week that you can pull up and watch us in studio with the program. But there's a MixLR app that can be pulled up, and you can find that on the website, though, SportsCallAuburn.com. Brett, I'll kick it over to you. Let you talk about the kickers a bit.
Yeah, Daniel Carlson is going to be a redshirt freshman kicker for us. He's a big kid, 6'4", 216 pounds from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Look, going to have some big shoes to fill there. And, again, we can't say enough about the kicking game that Auburn has had over the last several years, Randy. I mean, it's been very, very reliable. Jimmy Hutchinson is a guy on the punter, is going to be the punter, and he comes in about as heralded. There's not many times you see a 4-star on a punter, but Jimmy Hutchinson comes in. He's a redshirt freshman from Marietta, Georgia, 6'2", 198 pounds. They're as good a talent raw as you can have, but man, they're the men now. They're not sitting over there watching Stephen Clark punt the football. They're in the game now. It's their position. So I think Auburn's done a great job going out and recruiting 2 guys to punt and kick.
A couple more recruiting updates that we've seen in the past couple of weeks. Nate Craig, we had him on the program on Tuesday. 6'3", 205, was the number 1 overall recruit in the 2016 class. Currently committed to Auburn. Hopefully we can hold on to him. But we had him on the program, a very, very smart, good kid, and we're excited to get him in. And also Richard McBride. We called our high school football game as Charles Henderson made it to a state championship game in 4A this past year from down in Troy. Big kid, big linebacker, number 3 ranked in his class in the country. And I'm telling you, this McBride and getting these linebackers and, some good size linebackers like Richard McBride really bodes well for the future of the defense.
I think we've seen how important linebacking cores are, and you can't have enough of them. You got to have depth there, so excited about, hey, look, Gus Malzahn and the staff continue to recruit, and as long as they continue to recruit at the pace that they're going to, this team is going to be around to stay. One last thing before we get off there, out of the realm of Auburn, another bizarre incident involving Jameis Winston, 2002, comes out, squirrel hunting with Chris Casher on campus with a long barrel pellet gun. They actually handcuffed him and took him. What? I mean, the media they're on him.
They're after him, and any little thing that happens, you're going to hear about, and for good reason. I mean, if it was all silly stuff like that, like stealing crab legs, then it would be. But it's the one story, it's that one incident that you go back to, and that's the reason any little stepping out of line that he does is going to be under a microscope the remainder of his time at Florida State. And if you believe him, he says he's staying another 2 years. Doesn't matter. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Again, we want to thank all of our callers and listeners out there and all the ones that find us on Twitter. Again, we couldn't do it without you. And again, next week it starts a gauntlet for us, and we're excited about it. We'll Moon do a Bailey with you on Mondays, and then myself, Randy, you, and Andy Graham on Tuesdays through Fridays.
Saturday Sports Countdown tomorrow, 95.9 over in the Auburn-Opelika area. Again, we want to thank Tiger Communications Group for working with us on all of our programming. And you and Luke Robinson will be out there kind of hashing out football, Auburn and Alabama style.
That's it. That's going to do it for the Friday edition of Sports Call, presented by Always Money and Auburn Urgent Care. For Randy Lee and our producer Justin Clayton, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. Have a great weekend, everybody.